dikakanyo dintle amacala amahle dikakanyo dintle kulo ideas. The Ngoni tribe revives their Zulu and Swati identity. To those of you who do not know, the Ngoni people, it's a tribe that ran away from King Shaka, the great King Shaka of the Zulus, in 1828. So most of them from the northern KwaZulu, northern Zululand, and part of them were in the current day Swati, which has always been known as Swaziland. So Swati and Zulu languages are close to each other, so they ran and crossed the Zambezi River. There's about 1,000 of them who ran over to the neighboring countries when King Shaka kept sending his warriors to follow them. So they ran and they went as far as the Zambezi River, tried to cross, and some of them fell into the river. So most men were survived, mainly women and old women fell into the river and were eaten by crocodiles, so they couldn't cross over. So they end up intermarrying other tribes, so they lost their identity. So I think it would be a good idea for them to form their own country. You can see what their tribe is pretty much Zulu. It just changes here and there because they mixed with other tribes. So I think it would be easier for them to have their own country. There's even DNA ancestral testing which has been done in the United States of America, where most black Americans were trying to revive their own identity, know exactly who they were. So maybe doing the ancestral testing, because most of them are on the edges of Tanzania, Malawi, Mozambique, the neighboring countries of the southern African countries. So you find that their edges, they can just form their own country, they can just call it Ngoni, and they can each identify each other whether they are Zulu or Swati and follow their lineage, follow exactly which tribe they belong to. It will be much more, it's difficult for them to present them because most of them, they went to different southern African countries and they married other tribes, so the languages changed. Those who are in Malawi married another tribe and their language got mixed. They only use their language, Zulu, their native language, when they're doing traditional rituals, but they never managed to preserve their identity. But you can see that this is pretty much Zulu, and it could be anything else. They don't use their real names. It's good that they still managed to preserve some of their culture, but better can be done if they just become a country on their own, not to sideline them. What do you think? I think it's because I know they do have the Ngala ceremony. Yeah, the other Ngunis.
New Colgate Jojo. It helps fight the root cause of all.
They all use Zulu when they're performing rituals. So how about just having their own country? You can see there were differences here and there because they partly lost their identity. So you find that their things have become mixed. So if they just become one country, and you find that they teach their language, because there have been suggestions about having Zulu to come and teach them their native language in those countries. best way. I know they are known for the Ngala ceremony. So the Zambezi River meet history by most of them falling into the Zambezi River and eating the crocodiles. So it's a painful tragedy, but it's important for information like this to be kept so they know exactly where they come from. And Zulu means the sky. That's what it means.
Zambezi River, one of the fascinating rivers in the world, and also the fourth largest river in Africa after the Nile, the Congo, and the Niger rivers. It bears the crown to be the longest east-flowing river on the continent. It flows through 6 countries: Zambia, Angola, Namibia, Botswana, Zimbabwe, and Mozambique. The river has a length of approximately 2,700 kilometers and has a total catchment area covering 13,90,000 square kilometers.
You see, the countries that I mentioned have been listed. It does separate Zimbabwe and Zambia. So that's why I know the Zulus are proud of their culture. So it's amazing that some of them lost their identity, but it was not their own doing. So key Zwangendaba, meet history. Something that cannot be forgotten. Zwangendaba means hearsay, but meet history.
uZwangendaba ungumuntu oqavile emlandweni wesizwe samaZulu. Wayengumholi nomsunguli wesizwe samaNgoni, iqembu elaphuma embusweni wakwaZulu ekuqaleni kwe-19th century ngesikhathi sokufuduka nokuhlakazeka. uZwangendaba ekuqaleni wayengumkhuzi omkhulu webutho lenkosi yakwaZulu uShaka. Nokho, ngemva kokukhothama kwenkosi uShaka ngo-1828, uZwangendaba kanye neqembu labalandeli abaqotho baphuma embusweni wakwaZulu. Baqala uhambo lokufuduka olwaziwa ngokuthi umfecane, okusho ukuthi ukuthokoza noma ukuhlakazeka ngesiZulu, okwakuyinkathi yezinxushunxushu kanye nokufuduka kwabantu eNingizimu Afrika. Ngalesi sikhathi sokufuduka, uZwangendaba nabalandeli bakhe bahlangana neminye imiphakathi eyahlukene, balwa bagcina sebezinze emazweni anamuhla aseZambia, Malawi naseTanzania.
We heard the story that he made history by taking some other Nguni tribes like the Swatis and other people and cross over the Zambezi River. So maybe it might be a good idea for them to just have their own country. And the most important is the Ngala ceremony. That's what they are known for. Different Ngala for the ancestors. So maybe it might be a good idea. What do you think? I think it's a good idea. It is a known fact that exactly who they are. But I think having their own country, it will just be a country which will be more unique. It will be more like a traditional country, a combination of two Nguni tribes, the Swatis and the Zulus. Then they'll be able to restore their identity.